All right, so picture this. There's somebody that you're attracted to, and they're sitting across the bar. You're on your way to a job interview that you really want to nail. You are playing in a championship sports game. All right, all three of those scenarios have the possibility of rejection, of failure. And all three of those scenarios have the possibility of success and what we want. Now, here's the thing. What if rejection and failure were completely impossible to experience? That no matter what, we knew that we were going to get exactly what we wanted in all three of those scenarios. Wouldn't we kind of lose the thrill of being in all three of those scenarios, whether it's going to a job where you don't know if you're going to actually get it, talking to that person and not knowing if they're actually going to like you and want to continue seeing you, or playing in that championship game and not necessarily knowing if you are going to win or you're going to lose? It's the fact that we have no idea how the thing is actually going to end up, and that's what actually keeps us interested in it. All right. So before I dive into this topic, I want to welcome everybody back to the Libraries and Weight Rooms podcast. We're on episode number 136 today. And I want to tell a story today about what a Hail Mary taught me about uncertainty. And this is probably one of the greatest memories that I've ever had in my life when it comes to athletics and the lesson that it taught me. And I did not realize this lesson until probably a couple weeks ago, until I heard just how powerful uncertainty really is in our pursuits. And I thought this would be a really cool story to kind of connect this with. So when I was a junior in high school, I was playing in a high school football game, and we were down by, I think, 4 or 5 points. And there was probably maybe 4 seconds left on the clock. And we were on about the 50-yard line. And some team had called a timeout. I actually think it was our opponent who had called the timeout to kind of get their defense ready for this last play. And we were basically, we needed to score. We had a Hail Mary attempt here. And so I was the quarterback, and I started like slowly kind of walking over to the sidelines, and I was looking up at the scoreboard and seeing like our yardage and where I basically had to throw this ball to. And my coach came out, and he walked into the huddle, and he basically gave us this play, and it was a specific play where I was supposed to kind of look off one guy so then it would basically get this other guy open and kind of draw the safety over to one individual, so then this other guy would be open. So we end up running this play, and I end up basically taking a 3-step drop. I do a pump fake. I then drop to 2 more to a 5-step drop and throw this ball as far as I can into the back corner of the end zone. Now, it doesn't even really make it to the back corner of the end zone. It kind of makes it to like the goal line. So it was about a 50-yard throw. And one of my best friends, Nick Prince, he ends up jumping up, catching the ball right on the goal line, and turns and falls into the end zone. And we score a touchdown with 0 seconds remaining. We go nuts. My coach runs out to me. I give him a huge hug. It was kind of like a bench clearing celebration. And we needed to win that game to actually keep our playoff hopes alive. So it was a huge, huge moment and an incredible memory. And here's the thing. What if I was to tell that story, and that story completely removed uncertainty from the possible outcome? Meaning that 100% we were going to score and we were going to win that game. Like, there was no doubt. It was impossible for us to fail in that scenario. Wouldn't that make the story a little less cool? Right? The fact that we totally could fail, and the fact that we totally could miss playoffs and not successfully run that play, that's the fact that made it actually really memorable. And it was the uncertainty of how the play was actually going to end up that made it so memorable and made it so cool, and frankly made it worth it, made it worth telling. Made it worth telling enough to where I want to actually, talk about it in this podcast. And so I think in life we have these uncertainties, right? These things that we just don't know how they're going to go, whether it is our job, whether it is going out or going over across to, that bar and talking to that person, or playing in that sports game, right? We do not know what our future entails. And all we can literally do is merely be here, right? And understand what we can control in this very moment. Yet the fact that we don't know is what makes it so cool. The fact that we do not know what tomorrow brings or what the next week brings or the next month or the next year, that's what makes it worth going and finding out what that could be. Imagine if you knew exactly how every single thing in your life was going to turn out. Imagine if every single thing went exactly the way that you wanted it to go. That guy or that girl was immediately attracted to you. You immediately got that job and you won that game in the exact score that you wanted. It would remove the thrill of life. It would remove the surprise. That uncertainty is actually what we need to allow us to keep going to figure out if it's actually going to work. What I realized was, as I was doing these different pursuits in my life of kind of this, my business and acres of diamonds, and now starting to shift into supporting CrossFit athletes with their mental fitness, there's a ton of uncertainty, right? These are things that I'm doing that I've never really done before, and I'm learning how to get better at them along the way. And there's things that I do where it's like, I have no idea how to actually do this, yet I'm just going to have to do it and somehow figure out how to change my behavior or change something to help me get closer towards certainty, right? Because then I want to have repeatable results. So I was in a coaching session last week and I was talking through uncertainty with my coach. And I said, I've realized that I respect uncertainty. Uncertainty kind of sucks. It kind of hurts, right? When you go over to that person and they do say no, or you lose that game, or you get rejected from that job, right? Or you get fired. Uncertainty hurts sometimes. The fact that we don't know what's actually going to happen is what kind of hurts, and what also kind of keeps us interested in it, to see if we can actually beat it, to see if we can actually create a result that we actually want. And in my session, I said, I'm learning to respect the uncertainty that I have in my life, because that's what makes me want to keep going to see just what this can actually turn into. The fact that I don't know if this is all going to work, that's actually what keeps me in the game. That's actually what keeps me excited and inspired to go figure all of this out. So think about the things in your life where you have no idea how they're going to turn out. You have no idea the good thing that's waiting for you, the bad thing that's waiting for you. The fact that it could be both of them is just the reason you need to actually go figure out which one it actually is. It's kind of like and I connect this like the easiest metaphor here is in sports, but I remember like playing against guys that I didn't really like. Like I thought they were kind of jerks. I thought they were cocky. I thought they weren't good teammates and good leaders. And these are guys who were like other opponents. Yet they were really good athletes, and they were really good at their craft and at whether it was basketball or whether it was football. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't really like them, yet I respect them, right? I respect the way that they play this game. I respect their skill, right? And what they bring to the table and their art. Like, I respect that. Yet there's still some uncertainty with some other areas of who they are, right? That's kind of like what this is, right? Respecting the uncertainty. I don't want the uncertainty sometimes, right? Sometimes it'd be cool if things did just kind of go the way that I wanted to. Yet it's the uncertainty that actually keeps me intrigued. It's the uncertainty that actually keeps me just enough interested to where I'm like, what if this does work out? Right? What if I actually do get that girl or get that guy or get this job or win this game? That's the thing that actually keeps us in this game of life, of pursuits, whatever that may be. So respect the uncertainty. It's actually the thing that's going to keep you intrigued with all the things that you're working towards creating in your life. So Thank you, everybody, for your time and your energy on this episode of the Libraries and Weight Rooms podcast, number 136. As always, if you liked the show, give us a rating on Spotify. You can also give us a quick review on iTunes, or you can also leave some comments and subscribe via YouTube to our Acres of Diamonds YouTube channel. If anybody would like to start receiving free mental fitness coaching tips, basically how to handle hard things better each week, right to your inbox, you can go to librariesandweightrooms.com, where I write a personal handwritten message on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to all of our clients and all of our community to help them manage hard things better. So thank you, everybody, for tuning into today's episode. And until next time, keep doing hard things, working on your mental and your physical fitness. And we'll talk to you guys soon. We'll see you.